Brodes Media.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on in to Sports Talk with Brodes. I'm heartbroken. I went all in thinking this team could do it. I still think that they are the better team, but tonight, the defense let them down. Tonight, Jonathan Gannon decided not to show up. Special teams. You punt the football. The return comes all the way back towards your end zone. It's a disgrace. And I guess it kind of comes full circle because that was what we were nervous of all season long. Jonathan Gannon being Jonathan Gannon. Andy Reid pantsed him. It wasn't even close. I honestly feel they would have done a better job if Gannon just didn't show up to Arizona and he was watching from his home. Guys were wide open. There was zero pressure, which, okay, look, zero pressure, which is ridiculous considering they had 78 sacks to this point. But if that's the case, you got to do something about it. You got to put your team in a better position. You got to help them out. But instead, it was death by 1,000 paper cuts. Travis Kelce wide open across the middle of the field. Juju wide open all day long. It cannot happen. And Andy Reid answered the bell. Pat Mahomes made plays when needed with one ankle, with one bum ankle. He got some big rushes with his legs. And Andy Reid coached, I'm not going to say a phenomenal game because I didn't know what happened late there. And when you look at the 2-point conversion or kicking an extra point, and when he went for the field goal on 4th and 3 or 4th and short, and he ended up missing it, dude, you got Pat Mahomes, and at that point you averaged around 11 yards per play. Soft coaching. But his quarterback bailed him out because he makes special plays, and when it's backyard football, Pat Mahomes shows up. Look, this Eagles team offensively had a game plan, and they were executing it with ease. They were dominating the time of possession. Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes were begging to get on the field, which is what I anticipated. But the problem is Isaac Seumalo ends up having a huge penalty. Now it's 3rd and 6 instead of being 3rd and 1. And realistically, it probably could have been a first down, but Kenneth Gainwell slipped because everybody and their mother was slipping all over the field. But Isaac Seumalo, with the penalty, leads to Jalen Hurts, and the football goes onto the ground, and then they return it. It was a weird game, man, but this offense did everything they should. Now, other teams are going to run their mouths, and people are going to tag you in things and say, see, the Eagles can't beat good teams. The Eagles were in this until 3 seconds left on the clock when they kicked the field goal to win the game. Or whatever, however much time was left. My brain is a pretzel right now, but this came down to the wire where you kick the field goal to win. Jalen Hurts balled out. Jalen Hurts was insane. 3rd and long to Dallas Goedert. There were multiple throws to Dallas Goedert that blew my mind. The pass to A.J. Brown for the touchdown. Devontae with the helmet catch, which was crazy. Jalen Hurts on the biggest stage. I mean, I think he played it excellent. He was so good. Dallas showed up. A.J. showed up. Devontae's in a walking boot after the game. He can give you a hundo, triple digits in receiving yards. The guy is absurd. The offense did their job. The defense did not. And the problem is how bad it was. Look, if you told me one of the best coaches to ever do it in Andy Reid was going to outcoach Jonathan Gannon, okay, but it was how bad it was. It was how ugly it was. You had your secondary looking like they had no idea what they were doing. Confused, everything. I'm sorry, that goes on preparation. That goes on the lack thereof. I've never seen so many players on the offensive side that wide open. It was piss poor. Other than C.J. Gardner-Johnson's hit stick to Pacheco, who took a couple seconds to go up, they were non-existent. And I just feel if you're watching your defensive line struggle, you have to do something about it. And if you're afraid to get beat in other ways, yo, dude, what you're doing isn't working. Out of the second half, what was that? A blink of an eye, touchdown. You're up 10. Blink of an eye, they score a touchdown right after the half. Even when you scored with the first drive, you get the ball first, 7-0. Blink of an eye, 7-7. Swiss cheese, this defense was. I'm going to look at some players and say, what are you doing? But at the same time, I thought it was lost with the preparation. I thought it was lost with the coaching staff. I thought it was lost with Gannon. He no-showed. He no-showed on the biggest stage. Now, you had a double-digit lead. It's disappointing. This is one you let slip. You had this game. You were in great position. I haven't even mentioned the James Bradbury thing. Real quick, here's the difference between our culture and the 49ers. The 49ers are still talking right now. And let them have it, right? All these fans, Cowboys fans, have DM'd me everywhere. All the fans in the world DM'd me everywhere. Your team, go ahead, run your mouth, do whatever. When you're at the top and you're in the Super Bowl and your biggest success is rooting for us, so be it. It is what it is. That's part of the beast when you're in the Super Bowl. That's part of the beast when you're consistently winning and winning all these games. People want to hate on you. It's just reality of the situation, and you have to eat that. I'm in my feels right now, and I'm not going to run from that. I should be. This is the worst case scenario, but it's part of it. Go all in. Put all your chips on the table, which is what I did with my heart. And they were here. They were there. They had it. And it sucks, too, because that Devontae Smith play that got called back, which it did end up hitting the ground. But it's just disappointing that we're getting to this point where even Dallas Goedert's play got challenged with the bobble and the left toe and the shoe of his foot. And was he inbounds? Was he not? Dude, it wasn't even close. That was the right call for Dallas Goedert. But that's where we are now. The Devontae play, as you put it in slow-mo and really break it down, the difference is 3 points instead of 7. Now, there's one area I look at. Well, by the way, Miles Sanders, thanks for coming, dude. He was awful, awful. When he got hit close to the sidelines, the ball went backwards. Pathetic. And then the fumble, a half a second longer, and that was a touchdown for the Cheifs. Realistically, I could have seen it staying as called. I could have seen it staying as it was on the field, because I remember saying in my head, if that happened the other way, I would have loved and called for that to stand, because it was close. It was bang, bang. But Sanders, biggest game of the year, not there. He'll be walking anyway, though, and regardless of the outcome of this game, that would have been the case. But Gainwell and Boston Scott. So Sanders, just not ready to compete. Isaac's penalty was tough. No pressure at all. 0 sacks. Let that sink in. Now, I'm not ripping Nick Sirianni by any means. There was a play, and look, kicking the field goals, it's not horrendous. But the field goal to make it 27-21. They were flirting around 4th and medium, 4th and 5, 4th and 6. They elect to kick the field goal to make it 27-21, a 6-point game. Like I said, I don't think it's awful by any means. I just think I would have let my offense go. I would have said, let's do it. Because that's what's gotten you to this point. James Bradbury, after the game, said, my bad. I tugged on his jersey. It was the right call. Now, here's my thing. I like the fact that he stood up and said that that's what happened. The game shouldn't have ended like that. They got robbed of a chance while this offense was humming. For a lot of this game, they had a chance to go downfield, and the refs robbed it. It's unacceptable to call that at that time. Not why you lost. Your defense could not get a stop. Your defense got crushed. Left guys wide open, miscommunication, the motion, it screwed everybody over. And your defensive coordinator did nothing about it. Did nothing to help you out. So much for Vic Fangio over the last couple of weeks. What the hell was that?